all, this is Dr. Hinanvi. Welcome to the online lecture on molecular docking using AutoDock Vina. This is part 2 of the molecular docking video series. In this video, we are going to learn how to prepare ligand and target PDB-QT files and how to create grid text file and context file in the same working directory. So let's start. Up till now, we have selected our target molecule as MTHFS protein and we have downloaded the PDB file. We have removed the already bound ligand in the protein, and this is all about the protein, and saved the file as PDB, modified PDB. We have also built a structure of the ligand, new ligand structure in Chimera, and then we have minimized the energy of the ligand. After that, we have saved the ligand as PDB. Now what we are going to do, we have to use the AutoDock tools to prepare the ligand and the protein for docking. So for that purpose, you need to make the PDB-QT files. The PDB-QT file will be prepared in these MGL tools. So this is your AutoDock window. Okay, so now we are going to get the protein, the PDB file, go to File, Read Molecule, and here you can select the protein. It's on our docking. So I'll select the protein. So this is your protein, and now we have to remove the water molecules. Go to Edit, delete water. Water molecules are deleted. Now you can see there is. So you can use the left mouse button. You can move the protein like this. Also you can, now you need to go to Edit again and then go to Hydrogens. Add hydrogens. Polar only. So you have to add the polar hydrogens. Now the hydrogens have been added to the protein structure. You can see that. And now you need to go to Edit, Charges. So you have to add, you can add Coleman charges. Okay. So the charges have been added. Now you have to save the PDB. File, Save, Write PDB. Okay. So the changes have been saved. Click on Grid, Macromolecules, choose this initializing, and now the PDB is going to be saved as PDB-QT in the same directory. Save. The color of the protein is changed when it is saved as PDB-QT file. Let's go to ligand. Now we have to make the PDB-QT files of the ligand. Put the PDB file of the ligand. So this is our ligand is bound over here in green color. Here you can see that it is outside the binding pocket. It is not well bound because it is not docked yet. Go to ligand, torsion tree, set the number of torsions. So these are 4. It's okay. Go to ligand, torsion tree, choose torsions. So here you have options: make peptide bonds rotatable, non-rotatable if you want to keep your peptide fixed, make amide bonds rotatable, make gonadinium bonds rotatable, make bonds between selected atoms rotatable, make all active bonds non-rotatable. So it's your option that you want to do some changes or not. But basically the AutoDock favors the rigid docking. It's designed for rigid docking because you get the results very quickly in rigid docking. You can save the output files as PDB-QT file. So the output file is saved as pdbqt file here in phz. That is the in the desktop we have the directory docking phz as pdbqt file. So the ligand file has also been saved as pdbqt files. So we have prepared the pdbqt file of the target and the ligand. Now what else we are going to do? Now go to grid, macromolecule, open. Again you have to open the pdbqt files. Now we have to make the grid. Our input is pdbqt file and here we have to select the grid. So go to grid, grid box. So our grid is covering, we know that we have already seen the active site of the ligand that is already bound in the protein, and you can have a look at the grid dimensions. The grid box should cover the maximum area of the binding site or active site, and here we have the grid. You can increase the dimensions. The X is in red and the Y is in green and the Z is in blue. And by changing these parameters you can change the length of their centers, and here you can increase the size of the grid box by using this spacing. So I think the maximum area of the active site has already been covered by the grid. So we will save these dimensions. So this is grid box and we will save these dimensions. So file, output grid dimension files, you can save it as grid text file in the working directory, that is on the desktop we have the docking, and here you can save the grid text file. Now you can also save the close saving current, but before that you have to check the folder where you have the. Now let's open the grid file. This is the grid file, text file, and it is telling us 40 40 40 and XYZ centers. So we have the dimensions that will require. So we have its file. So now you can open the AutoDock and you can save the grid parameter files. Close saving current. So we have saved the grid parameter file. Now we have to make a configuration text file in this. So you open the Microsoft or the Notepad. I already have made a context file. So here you can see in the directory that we have a grid text file and a context file. So this is a configuration file. I have already created that. So I just have to change the values of XYZ here. This size XYZ was 40 40 40. However, I have to change these. Here you have to put the exact pdbqt file, the name of your receptor, what was your ligand. You have to identify the pdbqt of your file name of your ligand. Then out is out.pdbqt and center XYZ is there, and you have to give the. I have to change these values using the grid file. So this is the grid file. I'm just copying these 3 values. So I'm changing this. So we have now the context file. I'm going to close it. The exhaustiveness is 8. Even if you don't write it, it will work also. save. So I have saved this. So now you have in your working directory, you should have the PDB-QT files of the ligands and receptor. You have the conf file. You should have the Vina setup files in the same directory where you are working. So now I'm just going to open command prompt.